things. Maria has not done this. Maria can't do this and this. We can't give her that. You can't give her that. Basically, you take me to everything, right? And the money for her and first language and take it to give. So she told me, Raisha, pat me down, she told me, I want to read this response from your voice. Yes. You understand, making all of in mind. That's what the everybody we're going to our Christmas prayer. So during the Christmas prayer, I went, I told myself, I'm going to do this here. And I'm going to do two things. First of all, take it. For it, I wasn't able to attend that meeting because they have a regular national aid to access the premises. I had gone to like a duplicate and all that. But long story short, the person I had put in my vision board as a mentor, and that person is supposed to. Now, what I didn't know is that when I was going to school with her, like they had been friends for years. So when they were in there, he's like, he talks like, she's so much like you. I think she wants to do the work you're doing. Would you mentor her? I had it even asked you, would you mentor her? And she said yes. And when you came up with the meeting, say, so we were meeting so and so, and I'm like, finally told. I must go to the meeting, the person I put on my vision board. And then when they eat up, that she's doing the exact one that they can. It was, how would you describe it? The lady invited me, help me grow up to work. But as you can see before, I want you to understand about drinking. You need this, I'm breathing, I'm doing all these things. I'm proving a point, but really, it was quite good. But as a children, it was not mine is really that. So, I think it's not a and when I get you are, I mean, the first which is a very big supermarket, and I can't help you. So my dream was They called up and I think they really wanted to be a good. I don't know how they feel, so I mean, too much less. They can give you a black second. So, like, oh, it's those 27 things. So they got they work with remind us, you see, things were so interesting. So, okay, and we, as much as everything about it. I want to get about the experience of this time. Things were tough. Such a must have really for people. I realize that's for some. Not just for people. Tonight, it's the yellows. The other kids are now really. She got us in the sunset. She didn't pass it and they walked. She didn't have it. She didn't. There was nothing was I was walking through the something different. But I've said so it's going to get it. I'm like, maybe I'll set you. So the next that's no way. I'm not remember. They said giving me my answer. I think it's I'm happy because you guys have the same thing. But I think that time I did also have so many needs because I was still at home. So after 1 month, everything is okay. So I start like I love work that. So I started taking the work someone that was actually running a chain of a big branch. So I did the work so well. So I don't know what she felt and then I go back. But I just basically pivot myself. Things for the name of the action to be. So after I'm then I going to get to the that I have okay. And that's like being on the money. They didn't wear the then go on my where for the different measures. But then I put so what's going so I get another switch. Now I have a spot right now. It's making that bring it from us, right? Right? So I go to a different from any kind of change. It's very odd. So for some reason I don't know. I don't want to say that. I'm interested in me or not being but I think they so they the first step they come actually once I come and like if you 7 times you have been should make it very well. So while I was working for the news it was like still then she would be really so give me a and I feel that the driver that started so why it's so because I did it and I get to the data take it now. Nothing, yeah. And then like my hand there. So when I say this, there was so many other guys that are just were around. So they would laugh. Say this case, and like, but you can't trust people. So they each other again with like keep pushing. Like you know, they who I do. I'm like, but you can't trust you. Like it's that. Like you can't trust people. So it's what issue. So these are little items saying that guy really had to use it. Good well, yeah, but really useful guys to do definitely like this. You make it good. Never to do. Because it's personally that's what's coming. So they know that you will be so I'm actually kind of different. That's about you. I think so history like that they are supposed to be in the United So you know, we think that the judgment that's why I'm going missing but I need something. What we go to do the first thing that they did a new campus, you know, if you have like stuff within the concept and then keep it out. That was such a trip. So each side and so women, you know, like me, I just hate people, I just eat comics without me. I am a female, you know, someone's different in something. So I got an information from the HR telling me because I'm becoming unruly to what my life and that's not true. That's not true. They put me to be a poor one meeting. They put children is cheating to this not one of people and I'm like, is that what you really believe in? First, I just selfish. They feel in their what? In this person of that to compare it, let's see about what's on it. That's your career. You can't be saying things like it. And then I'm shocked by this. I did come back. I went home, wrote and so there's a bit that bit for HR, saying to the board of director, because hey, who are the one that recruited? Put out all the reasons and how been against and how things have been. And now that people resigning is supposed to communicate with what? Government and them. Now I was not having a contract, I was just I don't think I cannot find it as different. So I didn't go back. Like I didn't go back to the next day. So the HR approached her, said, this thing was supposed to be managed at my level, but I should be so. So I was ready. So I should use that. Oh, given the old man, more than our past. The way is clean. So why does that question is how much I feel with maximum? That's because of that maximum I wanted my money pocket. I choose that I'm maybe with all the opportunities you are things to me. I never stop. Rather, what I did that was so young. So that's that. There was a young man that he was called me. And he really came. Then he talked to the person that I carried, but there is the recommended time. So I told the man that recommended him myself. I will only say this when I kill. Now I'm going to kill. I can't even. So I left that space and told myself that I'm not going to wait in this place. And that opened my head that I can actually find another children outside to tomorrow. That's how I got my very first job at the university. Before I could really. So one thing that pushed me was please accept it for me. Just because this person had the opportunity that you have and they're trying to manipulate you, you're not just trying to accept that they're going to give you this, but they're manipulating you. So that okay, and think about that thing. So there's a still like that and you're going to be that. But so they can something I experience that and that's new to launch. So the one thing that broke me that direction was I couldn't imagine. There's no how I used to record any privacy. That's how at least all that because I really treasure America. So any person that I give to see that direction, I give them to. But I couldn't believe that hey, a man can do this and then I lose my job just like that. That opened my mind to understanding that it's actually so many people are facing this just because they allow to let their parents define. Yeah, so bad. Yeah, the chemicals around that meaning it's just like if in a chest, that summer moment where you're like, yes, and because of those achievements, where you are staying and you have taken specific seats of stable, if you are in the citizen, so but some people don't know or understand how do you navigate so that's change the whole country is now being and it's getting what does it actually mean to the question would be once you secure that how do you navigate the tension between economics, the existing culture, and change? So, the board is an grind that. Here, students say it doesn't want it. We have each other, pleasure for the we have the career based in mind and students. And we really want them to but I have to think about inside I want to come to all the village. We go to really. It's actually, you know those people that say unemployment guys, unemployment is there, but it's not. No. As long as you're prepared, I have faith in God and I believe that I mean if the creator of soul. What do you mean I don't have what to do when my parents says it? That's my devotion. I don't know what to do. But one thing is opportunity available. You good, but I'm prepared. Usually I like being in private. And it used to sound like a story of our English teacher. So what happened is I get to masters now, but I got to done my but they just the project did just meet the temperature person. It needed moving. And it was upon me to see that my opportunity was really. I don't just speak with anyone. I come from my brother. That my parents can't, my dad can't be more. That's sports. Okay, that's it. I am also not so educated because I am not for special training. And I don't have any experience apart from my own being instituted. So I had to do so much work. Oh, my goodness. You understand? So what happened? So I like project and did one for 10 years. And they are on their initiation stage where they are looking for letter pension around. The community is the platform. First of all, the one thing I want to tell you, let's say that you should not be paid, but if you get to do the next month, what's the job that you do? Because the money is not money. And then money. But what the guy I put that right is that but people correcting the data. I know this guy is in the I will check and I'm not sure. So the link that puts out do our reports. So by the time they have data in that listing, because they collect, I can at the end of the week I will send an email showing that I look this have this file on photos. Like you see that's beyond my so a moment here that the project system that was there, yeah, behaving, but the only person they would think about was me because I was doing the wrong work when they were not there. So the university, I don't know if guys work here, but the public sector, people that are public sector are going to do. And the public sector is quote unquote very rigid. That someone is going to bring their son that is not actually COVID alone to give them a replacement and they put them as linked to charity finance. Yes, listen. But how do you come in as someone that has had this information to bring it? So even when this person brings their son, because I had someone that was competing for the job that I'm doing now, but I knew they were going to take it because one of the colleagues, but they will bring them. Don't worry, give them time. Your work will show. What do I mean? The type of present, but people. Do not just think that you just by appearing and being with people. People will love you. Yes, if I had a judgment of I will never see you use it. And I don't actually. I know God love to use it, but I don't. When people are very pretty, but I have. What is that part? I don't know. I don't know. Just because you can wear a better, put on the shooting that I don't can you stop it? Stress, you don't know if you have this you already give you one. They give you, but that's not such thing. You understand? Secular, pressure to lead. You know the Bible tells us that if you know that sort of what serve the daily. So that devils need to be served. Do the work. Someone, I swear, guys, there was no truth that can happen in my project that guy can just make you out, even when I'm going through. They will put you on the list, the money will come to you. What I was saying, the money will really come and come back. You are doing the work. Beyond the known. And I do it as someone who was in data collection, I love it. So do that. Like, let's say, put my phone to like a short film. Of what? Of what has happened. So that who can do the media work. So I would do even another project. They cannot recruit a guys. So later on when there was a space, me, I did I've never been to an interview apart from the playing practice. I just got an email from the VC of that time, the deputy VC. I didn't even know that guy. Then he got even telling me you should you've been recommended by one of the team members that you're fit for the job. Please take a reference to the project manager in less than 3 minutes. Just like that. And it was towards the end of the month, I saw a notification from my investor was paid. I'm like, oh my god, is it you? But so things, there was a lot of work that you have to do. First of all, on yourself, because I told you, you need to first feel. If I had taken the mindset of that teacher you are from, I'm not going to work with again. I don't know whether I'm lucky or unlucky. I've never been in a space where I work with them. I work many from the company that I run, the work I do at once, and what other areas. So if I had gone with that simple get, I'm going to her, right? I don't know. So chill the first. What about undo that? For sure, and I would get correct what you say about do more once I know what you're required to do. That's already that's a lot to it. When I was in a tricky area, my career in a tricky space, someone told me that you need to grow yourself outside that organization. You can't just be a developer. Like that is how you describe yourself. Oh, I'm a senior developer, so Africa's talking. Outside Africa's talking. Who are you? What do you do? What communities do you belong to? Who can vouch for you who is not in this organization? Who has it supervised you? Like, what have you created outside your class? Yeah, it is very, very important. Now we are in a space. I work so much remote. Remote working can take you a lot of remote work. You might be able to find things and you never met in your life. Last year, I ran an international team which had 7 people. One person was in Jamaica, one was in Romania, one was in the US, one like they were everywhere. One was in Sweden, India. So imagine you used to working with your house. Yeah. Yeah, most of us do our work at night. Like you can't do this work in office if you cannot. Right? Now imagine you move from that space whereby you have to go and and people expect deep work from you in office. Yeah, it's it's something that we actually talking about. Like when I just arrived, like it is something that my spirit is saying, and like you can't build a big company like this. You cannot build like but still, even when you're remote, there are those people who go out and get it. I got my biggest promotion to sea level when I was doing the hot work. And at this age, I did bang the table. I did pretend I didn't send a long email demanding things. It just came. As I just came with a meeting with a CEO, and I was like, maybe we're going to go over the projects, my work. And it was just like, oh, congratulations, you are now a CEO. Understand? Because I had created something outside the organization whereby at a certain point I had to add my socials to the company management social tool. And that's like let's say you're using metric or like Zoho social and you have to put your company social media account there to be managed by one person. So the CEO request, oh, can we put you as well? Because it's to have incredible following, let's say on LinkedIn. Can we put you on LinkedIn so that it can push the company pages right? It's like that because I created it up. And don't be scared to be visible. Guys, LinkedIn is not for job. It's not. It's not for like people say it's cringe. Yeah, like it's cringe, like every time you go there. And when I first went there, I saw this guy I went to school with, and he was managing director in the World Bank. And I'm like, what? And you know, I'm telling you, before you see someone you were in school with, they created their startup while they were in school. Yeah. How they suddenly got $1 million from Mastercard. It's up Exactly. But it's something public. You coming and saying, I have realized like yeah, look, I went to this event and I had this and it triggered this and this is how I'm dealing with it. All that very short show yourself outside the organization and don't your bullshit, you know. Yeah, and if you find that space right now, like enter into a business space or business leader, you know, there's so much into had compassion. And I'm like, guys, we can take this process. They're like, how will we say? How will we do it? Right? But I'm like, this is why I always feel. Yeah. And then they took the and be like, oh, this is that's the way of doing things. It can be digitized, guys. And some things we can change this for taking 2 days, be done in 5 minutes. Yeah. And everybody can sign the date and wake up. But something too small relationship every day. As an extra that 20%. And you're having a number just what you had. For me, in this, I'm a management for one guy. I just actually did. So the conversation might be perfect and we're all talking about the stuff that I want to get the finance guy. Like just one dude. Wait, that can this or that that's what she had picked. The next people, I want to tell you that story. I have to make sure that you had that time. But also trying to she has said live beyond that show. Trying to understand even the basic. You see what she's trying to do with the business is trying to make them understand that they are there. It's about you approving and should I trying to get. We can want this about it being done online. And that's what organizations are looking for. They're not looking for that guy that is deep and code something and it is that is dead. But bringing solutions to what is making it so you know. If Maria can this and the like, so you might just be people try to shoot it well, then she'll have data. Then she'll have people that are not pushing it. But later on, if it's out, they will take it out. So the take women that are here, it's not easy. So my let me put that my people in my phone, but not all other things that are running the organization. We just have one question. Not if we kind of not as we were discussing. And I don't know, this is just only about budget this, but usually women like the last of years. How can we break the fight, especially in this era of women? What can we do? Let's be as the forefront of this change, this new era, like AI. Right. But usually in the labs, like you see when you come to build a tech, it's just for research where now more women are getting into but you know years. But now how did we now also take advantage of this future of AI? Yeah, the post want to create a little also counting basically so basically sure. I would like to say, okay, Lara, I'm really good for your sleep. Anything that thinks when it happens that you're going to be leaving this content. Yeah. Yes. So outside my work, I'm a lecturer in the university. But I don't tell my students that you guys get AI here. But you know that sickness of AI is very much. Yes. It's maybe sugar different. AI is going to take the job from the people, but cannot actually transfer or learn what AI does and then give it to money. Okay? So she said that this which I realized today, as women, what are we doing? What for? I don't consider that I'm going to give you an assignment. I know you under it. And you guys, I'm going to use AI. It's film fine. Because I have done what I know almost so many AI. I will know that it's represented. I will know this one that you just asked me later on your WhatsApp. I will know. So I don't know that children I'm like, you don't even put in paper that you're still getting it. Our lecturer has said this. You know that kind of that comes. What more can I say? And you're trying to. So tell me, it's so funny. You even your little subject represents that one thing. Yeah, I'm not studying society, but when it comes to what you do. So as women, so there's something that people that are saying that AI is bad or just learn to use one model and if you are comfortable with this, they already make fun of it. My guys that I work with, my company, they already make us a change and register. I mean, I'm not so good, I can't write it, I'm not so good at tech. Maybe like they shall give a comment of the screen is blue. Why is the screen blue? Like those are my big colors. Why do we have this? I mean, that's what I can get. But with time, I no longer the questions of why is the screen blue? You get because I go back and understand it come and it can become to an ordinary app interface. Why is this one? So as women that are involved in all that are joining this one, it is simple. There are so many things that you can show you. Like this, and if you give an opportunity to talk to just the one that you go when if you're not sure or not confident of what you do. The error is here. And let's jump to the last people that are saying that from this thing here that we still have so many women that are not difficult. So here today, no example of actually. Probably I feel you your figures. It's still much good. Let them get involved. If I believe in it, because I can't be the only generation and French. So if you have someone and you show what you take, put the work to the learning, not just saying that because the school project is a project at the end of the and as a project at the end of the course, you're the one to take. Go back and learn one more thing that you know that those bullets know that you don't see. So it's more of do the work, teach yourself, do the extraordinary. And when you know it, people if you can share put internet and you come people that buy the and the rest sleep have been environment trying to devote something and it has worked for them. So you can because there was no other before that you do this thing and this tutorial. These guys were talking about our introductions. They had some of them have never met me. I don't think they are later. But just because of the techniques, they will know that this person does it. And so if you don't post things that you just on your face or things that internet LinkedIn or those people that were just want to write statement, do that one unless you change it to like I have mentioned before you guys, imagination, I have some evaluation from I want to do an assessment in the social engineering slide. And they are also trying to change their curriculum. So that they are able to as you can say, don't have my device. I sometimes so you can I want to have whereby you're required to hire and that specific role of what they say. This is a small thing I was saying. Yeah. And yeah, including yesterday. Yeah, you hear what you very fun. Yes, yes. This can stuff for my life. Some small thing. You think we I just not by something. They know it is the place that you have to. 10 real thing I would name. You know, and that's one of the and that includes the usual gibberish slave food things. So you like maintain those tools. I have seen the MBA very high levels. And when they get at those high levels, they are most they're the most like the people in the who are with you who are infected all the way would already have enough age as super hero. The thing is, you are being therefore and it's an interrupting versus beauty that's kind of why to handle why. Yeah. So if you really want to go ahead and innovate in AI at a speed higher than everyone else, yeah, it will need to if you're wise for it, need to question the wise ones. Just put what's your innovator, now this is the type of who is not with a premium motive. Is it so yeah. You have that option now. So just and so this one just give the comment to otherwise translate it's quick right? The states can you can close first one and then ask questions.
Does close, does it have one where it goes?
You don't know. You have Gemini. You have Gemini first.
Maybe I didn't want to sign my
You know how
like that.
you had the good one. That story. It's like using like you can I have seen someone tell a story yesterday, and if you're going to use ontologists, it is where people end up understanding complex numbers, but just because, yeah. Now imagine if that person decided to innovate using AI. Imagine what they could do, right? So you find that the AI has nothing to discuss. To them, they like that you have and yeah, it's unenable and it is something that we need to use. Like you need to use it in order to understand it. And you need to use it very well. You have a now and then. Like in order to understand it, like, you need to use it. You need to to like grow with it. Yeah, grow with it because the elements where they are now, the war between profession and anthropic. If look at the speed at which these people are doing things. Yeah, and you want to it that can't be we can become flexible beyond that because I've seen women who create companies out of inconvenience. Like you know those women who be like they let's say she back and she's spending so much to find good diapers for her child. So she creates something eco-friendly and suddenly it's a whole organization, a whole company. She's like, oh my God. Now imagine if that is done, that takes place. You have a small challenge. Let's say let's get to us and what first. You know what something you build some kind of that reminds you to so something you go to the extent yeah, but such a simple tool that can be used by almost everyone, every building professional, everyone. Basically, yeah. Because you're control up to the backside. So much business. The purpose of the thing is just the things. Evident. And think beyond like AI, they implement that. It helps spark the idea of curiosity. It might help you build the tech code and that. I love it. But still the human aspect of it is what you're meant to work. Is what will make it stand out and so much of the users Maria, one thing to our representative from High Point. Yeah, that is around High Point. But in our answer remarks. And yes, I'll invite you. Have a little slide. Yeah, that put it. Thank you. Don't take long. Then if you have any questions, then you can ask them personally. Just we are running out of time. Just as please, yeah, go ahead and yeah. Yeah, where is it? So we'll just jump into Dorothy. Just an essence. Okay, just then. Let me just experience in place of just to give you're tracing the makes
Wait.
Hi. Guys, have your attention? Yeah. Okay, my name is Kabaruti. I'm a French here. I don't know how many people have seen me before. Me, I have. Oh, a big number of you haven't. Okay, I'm a software engineer. I love community. I love human engagement. That's really nice. I love women in business. Women doing everything. Honestly. So I want to talk. I want to talk about Pride in Africa, what it is, and interest to coming for this conference. Yeah, backstory. I'll give you a peculiar story. Um, I know our previous speakers talked about how why their work visit. Same for me, 5 years ago, I was fully employed in a Ghana company and I was stuck. I was truly stuck. Low pay, late pay, excuses, excuses. Guys, of course, male dominated, which is fine. We can't run out from that bed. We just have to work with them. Now, the winner was late pay. I had a trip to Ghana. I didn't have my money for 4 months late payments. Yeah. I didn't have my money. I needed to buy things at the airport. I needed to carry things from my country. I didn't have money. And that was the server moment. Yeah. So I just knew that's not the life I want. I just knew that's not the life I want. I applied because outreach. Outreach. I used to apply for outreach. Guys, on getting the first time, it has two phases. On getting the first time, and I never used to have any more time to contribute. It has a contribution phase and an initial application phase. So the initial application, you read your essay, they go through it. If you have enough time, if you're available, they give you the initial. Then you go to the contribution phase, whereby you have to read the right code or do some of the what that you're expected to do for the different organization. So I never used to have time. The Ugandan job was taking all my time, you know. So after that trip, I did hand in my resume, hoping and praying that outreach will go to me again for the end time. This was the that time, applying, but not contribute. So this time, who's right? It was just by God's grace. I'm not saying you go and do that. I just knew I was done. But also what they say, like when your intentions are clear, you've written them, there's something in the Bible, right? And then something ran through it. So I wrote it, I knew I needed to get into outreach and get that job. So fast forward, there was a conference. I didn't have a job September 30th. There was a conference September. So I applied for Uganda. Applied for Uganda. Yeah, doing that. Now at Coco Uganda, they brought someone to actually work outreach. But I put in my initial application, hoping and praying I get through it. So someone talked to us about outreach in Nigeria. We used to just be on YouTube. She's called Omotola. She showed up like when we died. And guess what? Breakfast time. My hotel and sits with who? With me. And because I wanted it so bad, the questions did not stop. How do I do it? How do I show up? You know, I got a chance to talk to someone I couldn't reach. So far, she told me, show up like this, do this, make sure you actually contribute and outsmart almost everyone. Yeah, and you can do it, guys. In every field, may not be wrong. Yeah, so fast forward, after that, I did when how do I get back to what this song go? I'm going to one that's where it turned out getting. And those who don't know, Outreachy is a 3-month internship with a top tech company, and they pay you US dollars, guys. 7,000 US dollars for 3 months. That's a job, mate. But okay, something I'm just but in 3 months, very few do that. Truly, very few can give you $7,000 for 3 months. But for me, it was beyond that. I needed to build a profile. I needed to be work with the top tech talents out of Uganda, but also unlock and report work opportunities. That's what developers want. Yeah, so fast forward, of course, I contributed, I worked with Norm, no, my thoughts, no. So Norm, of course, top things are completely complex. I had to learn Perl, I had to learn Rust in the shortest span of time. And I mean, I did it, so the beauty with programming, if you know, like Python or Java or one language, it's easy to pick on these other languages. Or even anything. Yeah. So fast forward. Now I hope I'm free. Another thing I want to out there to apply. There are people who don't sleep, Nigerians don't sleep. Yeah. Our friends in India don't sleep. So even Ugandans, we need to actually be upgraded. Now imagine we are the tourism, what's not Ugandan was. So I just can't. No, I'm not saying we are one, but I'm like in that sense, like you laid back, yeah, and no stress, no one stress. So that just that push because people are not sleeping. People are not sleeping. If you want to at least okay, come up with Facebook, you have to be more aggressive and open-minded, completely open-minded. We are actually super cool. Very few people come up and do it. That I find it. Yeah. So anyway, fast forward, sleepless night, no job, but with hope. Guys, I joined outreach. All stemmed from as much as I did the work, but it made it difficult. So now I want to talk about Python Africa. Now Python Africa is not for Uganda. We've been hosting, we've been only doing Python in Uganda events, local events. They call them local events. Every country in Africa has Python. Maybe Nigeria, Ghana, and everywhere. Yeah. Now, there is Python Africa. That's the global one for all African countries. So what happened? Many Africans come to your country, build a community, present opportunities, showcase so many things, grow the community, and so on, and opportunities. So now we are so lucky this year. PyCon is coming to East Africa for the very first time, and it happens to be in Uganda. So it will be happening in October, Independence Week. Feel that from 7th to 11th, and maybe 10. And why? What does that mean? Brings global tech leaders to Africa, not only Africa, but to Uganda. We'll have people flying India and you'll be meeting them. It connects Africans everywhere. Now, another thing is this is what I was talking about. Um, I think you'll read through what you'll gain, of course, networking, opportunities, when you can entrepreneur, developer, student, everybody wants to pivot. Remember, Python does so many things. Who can tell us a bit of things Python does? Python language. Yes, please. Yes. Yes, yes. AI, guys. Yeah. Cybersecurity. Nameless. Like everything. People are building out there. Also, Python. Yeah. Um, Web3. I had someone talking about Web3. What's your conversation? Yeah. So where will it be? Speak result in 5 star. Five being with all the full people. Right? And again, 7 to 11. Now, it's not free. Yeah? The early bird ticket. Sorry. Early bird ticket. We have to run for this because after a certain period, there'll be more for pay. Ladies, let's bet on ourselves. For me, it's not about marketing. Actually, we are all volunteers who are doing this. Yeah. I want you to grab this ticket. If you're students, they're early bird, they're like 100,000. Yeah. And then for work, people who are in the working space, they are 200,000. But after that, they'll be, okay. Yeah. Now, before we go for Python, what are we going to do? Bet on ourselves. Right. If you want to do data, yeah. If you want to jump into cybersecurity, want to jump into software development, you're going to build that personal brand. Yeah. You're going to build that personal brand. You're going to learn that language, that Python or whatever language, so that when you see someone you've been looking out for on that conference, you have questions, you don't freeze. Yeah? And if they ask you, what's your LinkedIn? Sure. Yeah? Sure. Like, have your facts. Really? I beg you. These are things I struggled with myself. I look at people, I'm like, the first, but you can't come up to them because you're scared. Like, what are you doing? Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing with your work? Okay, this skills, what are you doing? Bet on yourselves. I know people have said so many things today. Yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, can you talk about your product? Can you sell it like crazy? To me, you never know. Your next employer could be there. Seriously, that is what's happened to me. For me, and now I'm currently working with a company in the Netherlands, it's because they unlock the remote, how to interact remotely. You can communicate, you can use your tools, and you can present yourself. You can present yourself, you can show your work, you can go line by line and explain what you're doing. And all these things can change. So that's a little bit about it. I want to hold you in case you have any questions. Maybe 2 or 3, and then thank you. Yes, I have a question. I don't laugh. Okay. So I saw I went to that. Yeah. Remember